This is a video very close to my heart. I named it Strong at 70, Thriving at 90. It's my blueprint for lifelong softball success. This video dives deep into the habits, practices, and mindset shifts that help young players lay a foundation for longevity and guide 70-plus players to keep excelling on the field. Drawing from my experience of over 40 years and the wisdom that I have from this experience, this video shares actionable tips for staying young, agile, and competitive well into the golden years. And with my help, with help from my key associates, Gary Benton and Dan Carlson, we'll share with you the 8 tips for living longer and playing stronger. It's a relatively long video, but worth the while if you can't all watch it at one time. Break it up, but watch it, believe in it, and do it. And years from now, you'll be saying, that damn Ed Rose was right. What's a technical? What are some things you can do to, in your mind? Like I said, I'm going to do a video on, what a senior does to try to stay. Stretch. Well, stretch is one, but let me finish my statement to the audience here. But what a senior does to try to keep his batting average up and keep swinging like he did and not lose as much power. But there is a significant amount. I can't quote you the numbers because I forgot them, but it's something like 10% you lose every year or something like that.
I believe. An average person?
Is
that just like a regular person?
Well, how these researchers do this stuff, I don't know. I just got it off Google. I say, yeah, not everybody's average, not everybody's the same. That's why, we're all different, and we all got different skills and abilities that the good Lord gave us, and some of them are better than others. But yeah, so now I lost my track. Where the hell was I? What was the question? What do you do? What do you just randomly? What do you think? And then I'll use this video to compare it to what the experts think. Let's go around here. Just feel fun.
Just stay active with whatever workout group you had. Stay on it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Some days you don't feel like doing some certain things. You can do things just into the house setups, push-ups. Do a repetition every morning.
Yeah, okay.
Every morning, get your body wide awake. Yep.
Next thing besides diet is exercise. Besides exercise is diet. Eat right. Stay off the juice a little bit. What I mean by that is alcohol. Maybe that's a little bit.
Well, we don't allow alcoholics in this. You ain't alcoholic.
That's right. So okay. Diet is.
You can use drugs now, but no alcohol.
Absolutely. Yes, good drugs. Like vitamins.
Well, you guys are all focused on the physical part, but there is also the other part of the game.
Mental part.
No, all you guys are mental cases. Just kidding. No, like the bats. You do use a heavier bat, a lighter bat. That kind of thing. Yeah. Just kind of little. But Gary. What were you, a general in the Air Force? No.
No, I was private. Now I'm a PFC.
You should have been a private. They should have flunked you. Okay,
civilian.
Come on, Colonel. Come on, Colonel. Let's go.
No, flexibility is king. As we get older, we start losing flexibility. Stretch, and because you just can't stretch enough when you're this age. And maintaining your mechanics, working on those, just getting them better because you're losing power. So you got to make up it somehow, and your mechanics are going to help bridge that gap a little bit.
Okay. Big Liam here.
I personally think with a lot of it is keeping your ligaments and tendons strong and flexible, because personally tearing the bicep tendon is probably one thing. Having that.
That's what happened to you?
Yep, tore a bicep tendon, was able to come back, and the doctor said because I concentrated on not lifting heavy, but just less weight, more reps, just keeping those tendons stretching. Yoga and Pilates, it's keeping yourself flexible. And then also diet. A lot of guys don't drink enough water too when they're playing.
That's critical.
Hydration.
Yeah, critical. Okay. And that to Big Frank.
I think a gym membership is essential because you can lift weights at home, do strength training at home, but I think at a gym you're gonna spend more time. It's more interesting, you're more motivated, and you lock in like 3 days a week and do that. I think for me, it's going to the gym, and you'll spend more time with the weights and more things you can do with your body, your all the different parts of your muscles.
Okay. Stanley,
I think
treasure hunter.
I think being social, with a bunch of people, your friends, whether you're going to church or playing ball, just keeping active.
Motivation.
Yeah, that's a good one. And the phenom himself, Keith Carroll.
I think, Gary and them said, diet, exercise, your mechanics, being able to, I don't know, I get more out like the overhand grip type thing too, mechanics. I think that's a part of it.
So you changed that. You changed that several years ago,
Yep.
if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Who was the guy that recommended that to you?
I forgot his name right now. Oh, it was Ed.
Yeah, I got to get in there somehow. Okay, no, now you were a Air Force guy and a fighter pilot.
Okay.
6'7" fighter pilot. No,
It was a great time.
it was.
I'm very thankful
You
for the
were
opportunity.
you were an instructor at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, I did that too.
You should be the smartest dude out here.
Well, so Ed, as we get older, have less testosterone, we don't recover as quickly. So sleep has become more and more important, at least in my life. And I know when I
Mine
try to
too.
cheat that, now you used to be able to get away with that when you were younger, but you can't anymore.
Gotta get that sleep,
And you got to have recovery time.
regenerate that body.
Rest is regeneration, exactly. So,
Thanks, General.
yeah, absolutely.
I hear my favorite person, my co-host on the famous show, #1 softball program on Spotify, The Dugout with Dan and Ed.
Love you too, Ed.
Okay,
Love.
he's the producer, and I'm sorry we hadn't had an episode out in a couple of months, but damn guys is out buying houses. So tell me your theory, big boy.
Go
Well,
Dave.
other than being strong and flexible, I don't, and working on your craft and hitting, it's hard to stay as good as you were 10 years ago consistently as we get older. So
Yeah.
I think one important thing is the ability to adapt your swing. If you're just a pull hitter, you better learn to use the whole field. And I think that's important to be successful, maintain a high batting average. I've watched you do it. So
Well, I be honest with you, I'm not as good as I was 10 minutes ago.
I think we can all say that, man.
Definitely.
I get a little humor in there.
Lord.
Okay, thanks, Dano. Don't forget to watch his show. And this guy is a renegade from the Canucks. What's your name, buddy?
Jeremy
Jeremy what?
Baker.
Baker?
Yeah.
Pretty common name.
Yeah.
A lot of bakers up there in Canada.
Not where I live.
So
Baker in town.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, everybody's mentioned strength, mobility, nutrition. Rest is really important. I get addicted to swinging the bat. And if I swing every single day, everything gets sore, and I can't play as well. So I have to make myself at least swing. Take a couple of days off once in a while from swinging the bat, but just stay active, hang out with friends, and make it fun.
What about hanging out with better players than you?
Yeah.
That's a good.
Definitely want to play with better players. You want to be the worst one on the.
That's why you're here.
I'm the worst one here. I'm the worst one here,
No,
baby.
actually,
You want to be
okay.
the worst one on the field. That way you're successful.
Okay, well, let's get started. Let's get started on that bet. We're sharing our points and how we've done that in our lives, and I'm going to get some pictures of Dan and Gary. They're great softball players, great hitters, at the top of their game as far as athletes go at age 54 and 55. And they're going to share their experiences, and hope it's insightful to you. Okay, man, it took me a lot of money to get these guys to take their shirts off.
$4,000.
$4,000?
$4,000.
Yeah.
Mine was 10.
But stand up straight. So he said, look at these guys built like Greek gods. And why did I do this? Because, if they was big fat guys, you probably wouldn't want to listen to what they had to say about good health and longevity. But I can tell you, I've been around softball a long time, and these guys are specimens of softball players. So Let's get into talking about the points. We'll let you put your shirts back on because I can't take much more of this. The number one softball player of all times, Bruce Mead. What a way to start this presentation off. Big Bruce, look at that power on that man. We're about ready. Okay, guys, let me share with you what the research revealed to me, and out of this research, I picked out these 8 top keys to longevity. I'll just go over them at first, and then we'll go back. The first one is exercise. The second one is good sleep. The third one is eat healthy. The fourth one is try turmeric. The fifth one is be happy. The sixth one, reduce stress. Seventh, nurture your social network. And then the 8th one is drink coffee or tea. So that's an interesting list, wouldn't you say?
Very good.
Let's talk about exercise. How have you guys found exercise to be important in developing those physiques you have?
Go ahead. I mean, I've been exercising most of my life. I spent a career in the military. Obviously, got into weight training when I was first went on active duty, and I've just been doing it my entire life. And it's just a way of life. The way you work out, eat, everything comes into play. But it's definitely a benefit.
There's different ways of working out too. You can do, so people run marathons. That's different than strength training. I like to do a little of everything, but I think building muscle mass and getting your body to a state in metabolism where it's when you're not working out, it still is a big important factor.
And that's all good. And you guys got great bodies. And some of these people out here say, "Oh, yeah, I can't do that," and maybe they can't. But what's the main point of when I say keep moving? When you're a senior, what does that mean by let's keep moving? I mean, yeah, working out's great, but some guys may not be able to work out as hard. So,
well, to me, it's like what happens as we get older. Our soft tissue, our ligaments, our tendons, they start tightening up. Our muscles, as we get injured, they tie like little knots in them to protect themselves. And well, the thing is, it's like if your ligaments, your tendons, and your muscle tissue is all getting shorter or getting smaller, you're going to get tighter. And if you're not moving, it's just going to continue that process until the point where it's like you can barely move. You can barely sit there and walk to the bathroom and take a piss. So keeping moving is important, but stretching is critical.
stretching, yeah, especially if you're playing ball out there, guys.
Absolutely.
You got to stretch spend 10, 15 minutes stretching. We're going to do some pointers. I think this guy right here is going to do some stretching for us. One of the, in the gym, aren't you, Big Dano? You working on some exercise?
Yoga is a big. I don't do it as often as I like to, and it may sound a little unusual for a macho guy to.
Oh, you're macho?
Yoga. No, but your viewers.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You guys.
Oh, you mean the machos out there?
So but it's. I think it's to what Gary was saying as far as your flexibility, your tendons, your muscles. It's one thing you get big and muscular, and then if you don't have the flexibility to do your sports or just everyday life, it matters.
That's very good, yeah. But listen, there's a word I brought up and you guys didn't know it, and I didn't know it when I first heard it either. It's called autophagy. Autophagy. And you get that from exercise, and you get that from fasting. What is autophagy as you know it now, guys? So simply in your terms.
When the cells eat itself, when your body is at a state of firing, for lack of a better way of saying it, that your metabolism is eating the fat in your body.
Okay, now,
right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's close enough for us, but you guys, you want to know about autophagy, look it up. We're not experts in this. We're just sharing what we learned and what these guys didn't even know they were getting their bodies in autophagy, but they obviously did, and that's why they look as well as they do. So let's move on. You got to exercise, keep moving. I can share with you that all last year I was down from surgery and radiation, and I wasn't moving and I've been spending the last 3 months trying to keep myself moving and just making sure this thing's still running. So let's go to point number 2. The number 2 tip with Mike Masenko, the number 2 all-time player of all times, and number 1 home run king of all times. Okay, guys, point number 2 is good sleep. What do you think about good sleep? That's important to longevity.
Sleep is when your body does all its healing. work out and break the cells during your daily routine, whether it's working or exercise, and that's sleep. If you don't have good sleep, your body's not going to repair itself.
That's the key, right? That deep sleep. You got to get in deep sleep, not just sleep, restless sleep. You need to get in deep sleep because that's where your body repairs. There's REM sleep and deep sleep and light sleep. What's your input on that, Gary?
No, I agree 100%. Is I just want to point out that a lot of people don't, like, well, I don't go to the gym, I don't exercise. Well, if you're going out playing softball at our age, you're breaking down the muscle tissue and it's got to repair itself, and that's where sleep comes in. So you're exercising whether you know it or not.
Okay. Now, Dan, you had a little trouble with sleep, and you ended up you were taking pills and stuff, but you got off of that and went to CBD, right?
Yeah, and the CBD really helps me sleep. I fall asleep better. I stay sleeping, and if you have sleep issues, you know what a struggle it can be.
Yeah. So the importance of good sleep is right up there at the top of the list of longevity. You got to get your sleep. Any else thing to add? That might be just as simple as what we just said.
No, I think a routine can help if you go to bed at the same time.
That's
every
good.
day,
Yeah.
And get up at the same time every day.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
if you
yeah.
get up early, then it allows you to do a little exercise before you do your morning routine, and then you have more energy, and then.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Guys, like I said, do your research, but sleep is important. Now, some of this stuff you may know, we're just covering it because this is the things that we discovered. So thanks, guys. Okay, now we're on number 3, eat healthy. Now that may mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And on here it says plant-based. But the main thing that you need to focus on is less calories. Now let's talk about that. Because all the research, if you look at what's the best thing to live a longer life, is eat less calories, calorie restriction. And then you and we had a discussion about this, and we got in kind of interesting discussion. So let's get back into it maybe. So Gary, what do you think about that, eating healthy? What's that look like to you?
To me, there's so many different fads out there, so many different diets, and they may work for one person and not the other because everybody's different. We react differently. The goal, I think, is you got to sit there and figure out what you want to do. What's your end result that you want to be? Do you want to be a bodybuilder? Do you want to sit there and be a marathon runner? Do you want to be a softball player? So you got to think about what assets you want to have. But everybody talks about, like, we don't eat meat, we only eat plants, or we only eat plants, or vice versa. But the truth of the matter is, I think there's a symbiotic relationship between our proteins, our fats, and our carbs. The body needs all three. A lot of people sit there and say, we got to cut out fats, we got to cut out carbs. Well, you don't cut it out totally, because you'll put your body into what's called a deficit. And when you get into a deficit, if you're trying to be athletic, you're going to lose energy. You're not going to have energy to perform. So you have to be very smart about how you do that. But what's important is what you eat, when you eat it, and how much of it that you eat at that time. It's all important. So if you can sit there and go, ooh, man, you know what? I like cake, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and you can sit there and take half a freaking cake and eat it. It's probably not going to do you very good. But I mean, that's obvious.
So what would you say? Eat that cake at noon the next day, right?
Absolutely, eat that cake at noon.
But actually, that's the right way to do it. Gary, that was well said, dude. I've listened to hours and hours of these guys, and what you said there encompasses a lot of what they preach on the internet. Yeah, that's good. You got any more to add to that? No.
No, I just know that there's a lot of different ways, and the body reacts differently. What works well for me may not necessarily work well for you. So find something that actually works, or if it doesn't, try something different. Okay. But always make that effort.
Now, my man Dano, you have some interesting eating habits that I learned when you lived with me for a couple months. And actually, you got me into being one of the best salad-making guys in my household.
There you go.
Now, look. Tell us about your eating habits, Dano.
Well, my eating habits were kind of steered because of some food allergies, and but the bottom line is what to eat: fruit, vegetables, and the white meat is like healthy: turkey, chicken, fish. That's what I eat, and don't overeat. You know what? Stay away from processed food. If it comes in a bag or whatever, then it's probably not the best for you.
Hold on. Now the number 3 tip is eat healthy, and this guy sure needs to eat healthy. He's done his share of healthy eating. Let's talk about that. Okay, Dano, sorry for that. I didn't turn my phone off. So where were we, Dan? You're telling us about you eating. Do you remember where you were?
Stay away from processed food.
Processed
it's
food.
really convenient.
It's all like processed food.
It is.
Don't you love the way he says that?
Processed.
Well,
These are northern neighbors.
Dan, so tell the people what you don't eat, because I was amazed that he eats nothing. Sometimes we went to breakfast and you ordered
Bacon.
and what?
Bacon and ham, that's it.
Bacon and ham. Yeah, and you saw his body. Now he's ripped like a damn machine. So, maybe I should start eating bacon and ham. But tell your story, Daniel.
No, just when you eat things that come in a bag or a package, it's not going to be as healthy for you when it's made in a manufacturing plant as if you pull it out of the ground or it grazes or swims in the ocean. That's the bottom line.
No, that's a good point. I mean, I went to expensive health spa for like $6,000 a week, and that's basically what they told us. Mm-hmm. I should save my money, shouldn't I, Gary?
Should have listened to Dan.
Yeah. So, so I guess did we cover this, or
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
food is important. You got to eat healthy, and because a lot of people think plant-based is healthy, but we're saying it's healthy. It's up to you to do your research and you determine how your body feels, right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
oh, absolutely, because everybody's a little bit different. Our genetics, what works well for me doesn't always work well for other people.
And this is the area that we can be our own. We can control our own ship, if you will. We're the captain of our own ship, and you decide, how we're going to sail in terms of eating and what we put in our bodies. Okay, guys, that's a good one. Now, tip number 4 is turmeric. If you want to try turmeric, try the Dugout, because the Dugout is new podcast that you'll enjoy, all about softball. Try the Dugout on Spotify. Well, producer, director, I pay myself. Okay, well, we just had a little business meeting here, and I think we're done. So let's talk about the number 4 thing, which it turned out to be turmeric, and that's a supplement, and how valuable turmeric is, according to the research, it's real valuable because why? And I'll let you guys answer that.
Well, turmeric is, one of your biggest anti-inflammatories out there. It's just a very strong, natural anti-inflammatory. There's many of them, other ones out there. There's astaxanthin, there's turmeric. There's so many others. Just figure out one and just use an anti-inflammatory. And the reason you want to do that is on a daily basis, part of what we just talked about with our diet, because there's so many preservatives in our food and everything else is going on in the sun, our activities. It's building up oxidative stress inside the body, and as we do that, it just really starts doing havoc in the body. So when you're taking anti-inflammatory, it's like an antioxidant. It's going to actually fight against those oxidants that are building up in your system, that oxidation, and it'll help you overcome that. So that's why you want to take some type of anti-inflammatory.
So why is inflammation bad, Dan?
Causes pain.
Causes pain?
Causes pain for sure. And,
Yeah, well, that's the first thing, right? And when you got pain in your body, it's telling your body what? Something's wrong,
down,
right?
yeah.
Something's wrong. Now, inflammation, from the research that I have been seeing on the internet, is the first stage to body issues, because it can lead to cancer.
Yeah.
And cancer, what is the definition of cancer? What is the definition of cancer?
Well, I think we just talked about that as a cell that won't die.
And it just keeps growing and growing, taking over everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's where we told you to look about autophagy. I want you guys out there in the audience to look up that term autophagy. And it's been 6 months for me to learn that word, to pronounce it. But autophagy eats your cells, and it'll eat your bad cells. So that's all good. So look it up. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but try turmeric and some of the other things that are out there that reduces inflammation. CBD also does that. Why am I talking about CBD so much? Yeah, that's right. My son is an expert in CBD, and I own a CBD store. So That's actually going to be the sponsor of this video, CBD Dream Farms. Here's the podcast boys again with happiness. Be happy. Be happy. Watch the podcast. The Dugout. Happiness is number 5. Why do you think happiness is on there?
It leads to healthier behaviors. It helps stave off high blood pressure, excess body fat, resulting in lower risk of stroke and cardiovascular disease. Plus, life's a lot better to go through when you're happy.
That's pretty damn good, huh? Okay. So, Gary, that was pretty good reason to be happy. It helps you. Tell me in your terms what that means to you to be happy, and why is it make for a better life?
Well, I was just sitting there thinking it kind of goes along with some of the things we talked about earlier with turmeric fighting oxidative stress built up in the body. If you choose to live your life in a negative fashion, well, you're not going to be very happy, and you're going to build up more stress in the body, and of course, creating more oxidative stress is a bad thing. We talked about we want to get rid of that. So if you're happy and you're trying to get rid of those negative thoughts, it's just another way of getting rid of oxidative stress in the body.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a lot of research out there, and back when I had cancer, and I used to go through these things. And, well, hey, I've had cancer a long time when I had cancer. But laughter is so important to good health. Laughter, we need to laugh more. Everybody's angry nowadays, the Democrats against the Republicans, and this guy and the woke stuff, and we need to laugh, man. We need to have fun. That's why we got jokes on this channel. We're out there to help people, right? There's some stupid jokes, but hey, we're all laughing, and that's what it's about, right?
Amen to laughter.
Yep.
Amen to laughter. Folks out there, you don't have to do a lot research on that. I'm sure you're with us. Laugh like there's no tomorrow. Dan, I heard you talking a little bit about, it's the old biblical, it's better to give than receive. But in real life, is that true?
I've seen studies. I don't remember the data on how it all works, but a guy is on stage in a crowded stadium, and he's going to pay for somebody who's maybe struggling a little bit, and they somehow measured them on how they felt. And the person who gave was much happier than the person who received.
That's a great feeling. I've experienced that myself. That's a good input. Number 6, reduce stress. This is Big Bruce Mead and myself and Maui, and some of the greatest. That was one of the best tournaments we had played in over there. You can certainly reduce your stress in Maui. This is what I've been accused. This one here is number 6. It says reduce stress. My wife says I cause stress, and some of my buddies tell me I cause stress. What do you guys think?
I would agree with your wife. You cause stress.
And a lot of softball players out there know I cause stress. But getting serious, you're going to less stress. But they don't realize that relieves my stress by causing other people stress. Not really. But what about stress? What's that mean? How do you reduce stress?
Well, I think it kind of goes along with everything we've been talking about. Try to sit there and look at things through a positive lens. Be positive in the way that you look at out life. Laugh when you can. And just try to sit there and reduce stress. I mean, you know what? It's control the things you can and don't worry about the rest.
Well, that's a good thing.
Life's too short.
Laughter does reduce stress for sure. But I talk about some guys. You guys have been in that cold water. Remember the ice bath? Ice bath. That's number 1 on the list of getting stress out of it. You guys weren't stressful when you came out of that. You just thought I was nuts, right?
It was thawing out was the first goal after getting out there.
You know what? I might put you guys in that water. I might put those videos of you guys in that water. But you people out there that want to use that cold water, you don't need a cold plunge. You can use a cold shower. Because cold shower do the same thing. And I challenge the audience out there to take a cold shower, go in it when you get in the cold shower, and if you take a cold shower, just stay in it for at least 2 minutes. Okay, you got 2 minutes. And when you get out of it, you're going to see how much different you feel. You're going to feel more relaxed. It's almost like taking a run. It's almost like running. You get it like a
contrast is good. When I go in the sauna, I'll always go into a cold shower.
Oh, that's on the top of the list too. That contrast. You can do the even the cold shower that I've been doing for years before I got into this cold therapy, and I've been doing cold therapy now for 3 or 4 years. But I do hot water, cold water, hot water, cold water in the shower. That's almost as good. And then when I'm in the gym, what I'd be doing is the sauna, and then a lot of spas have that ice bath. Yeah, you do the sauna and the cold dip in a spa. You don't need a shower. I've been to some of the most expensive spas in the world, and dude, that's some of the best stuff. It's just crazy. But getting back to stress, what's the other ways to reduce stress?
Well, you know what? It's not what happens to you in life; it's how you handle it.
There you go.
Most
That's a
of the
good
stress
statement.
that is on us, on everybody, is self-induced. It's never as bad as you think, and if you can change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change.
Oh, say that again, man. I'm getting tuned up. Look at this. You're gonna be quoted in a month here. What? Say that
It's
again.
a Wayne Dyer. Too.
Oh, it's Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer, yeah.
Oh, you didn't. You ruined it, man. He's an old timer.
He's a good one.
Motivational
He's
speaker.
a good one.
Yeah. Anthony Robbins is more my style. No, that's a good one. But now I'm off track just a little bit. Number 7 is nurture your social network. No better way to do that than play softball with some of the greatest guys in the world. Myself, I'm honored to be on the Venom team. What a joy, and that's an important part of living longer. Okay, folks, we're down to number 7, which is nurture your social network. And believe it or not, the research I have on this is they claim that you can expand your longevity 50%. Whatever it may be, it's going to be 50% more. Now, I don't know how you get to that. I don't even know if you put numbers on it. But the social network is very important. And you guys, when I first brought this up, you said, what does that mean? So what did we come up with, guys?
Well, I started kind of sitting there thinking about what does it mean to me. Like we have a hitting club. We come out here and we hit on Tuesdays, we hit on Saturdays, and then we play ball. So it's keeping us moving. We're around like-minded folks. So it's getting us out of the house, off the couch, and our body is moving. So everything ties together, and that's where your social network is. If you've got a social club that likes to go bowling or do whatever, it's just getting you out of the house and getting you moving. That's what I kind of took from it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
because you know what, really, these all are kind of interconnected. Like if you have a good social network and you're around people that are positive and then they're happy, you're probably going to laugh and smile more, and you're probably going to live longer.
Yeah.
You are who you hang around, and if you hang around good people, good things are going to happen.
Well, that's the nature. What you're saying there is an old saying I used to have. My grandfather told me that. He said, Ed, you'll become just like the people you associate with, so choose your associates carefully. And that's exactly right, Dano. The other part of that, of course, if you're married and you got a happy life, you got your kids around, and a social network is you got a reason to live. Mm-hmm. Reason to live, that's it. And you think about the softball world. I don't need another world championship, but I do need that attempt to go get it. See, I always think that it's the journey, not the destination, that's important, right?
That's where the happiness is.
That's where the happiness is, in the journey. The guys you meet, my teammates. I remember my teammates more than I remember matter of fact, at this point in my life, I could give 2 flips about winning other than I want to win.
Well, isn't that like a famous quote about it's not important what happens when you get there as much as the people you meet along the path?
That's great. That's exactly what that means, and that's what I think softball means that to you guys, and that's what softball means to me. And I think softball is a great reason for longevity. Look we got a 92-year-old Brotherton, 2 brothers. One's 84 and one's 92. You and Billy. You is 92, I think, and Billy is 84. And those guys, that 92-year-old, I'm going to put him in here and show that 92-year-old is funny and laughing, crazy. I just seen him up there in, Tennessee. And, man, you get him up in front of an audience, he'll talk for an hour. Remember the old days when they had this thing, they pull you off stage with a hook? The next time I get him in front of a group of people, I have to get a hook to pull his ass off stage. I love you. Number 8, drink coffee or tea. Well, there was a rumor going around these people were drinking a little more in coffee and tea, but I can assure you they weren't. They were just high on life because they had just won the Triple Crown in Las Vegas. Being in Las Vegas, winning the Triple Crown, how much better does it get? So the last one is drink coffee or tea, and Dan said, why is that important?
Well, coffee or tea is like what they'll say is it's rich in polyphenols, which polyphenols is going to help you fight against the antioxidants, or excuse me, not against the antioxidants, but it's going to fight against the oxidative stress that we build up in our body. Everything's kind of tying together to kind of see it. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. That's one of the things one of the benefits that tea or coffee bring to you. So everything kind of ties together. We're not talking about one thing. Everything's important. Everything goes towards dealing with that oxidative stress that we build up in the body. And this is just another way to do that.
That's well said, dude. Well said. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review of these 8 keys to longevity: exercise, good sleep, eat healthy, using turmeric, be happy, reduce stress, create a great social network, and drink coffee or tea. And as the guys said, when you look at it when we're done, they kind of work together. They always work together. And guys, it's just good stuff. I hope you go and do more in-depth research and focus on these things. Other things I'd like you to consider for your benefit, and you need to do research on them. If you want questions, you can stop and ask me, send me an email. But there's things like apple cider vinegar. Creatine's good for old people. The cold water plunge, cold water either in the plunge or the shower. CBD is sensational. You got to get in depth on CBD to see it's more than just sleep. And then sauna, you can increase your lifespan by sauna and cold water. You need to look it up and look at it. And then there's extra virgin olive oil that's good for you. And then some people say it's not, so do your research on it. Either extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil. And fasting, for me, I'm a fasting believer because I lost 23 pounds in 3 months. Never felt as good as I have. To be honest with you, it hadn't really helped me hit better. But it may be because I'm 77 years old. Now I'm 77, Dan's like 54, and I think Gary's 55. So I hope you enjoy it, but this is not your research. This is just your avenue to open the door and go in there and look at that research. Let's live a long life. I hope you made it this far. Hit subscribe. Enjoy the recap with the music.
Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many.
Don't forget, there's detailed explanation written up in the description. I hope you enjoyed it. If you follow it, success will be yours.